much better for Wurts and Friederichsen, who could try some of their big jump serves. They've gotten points during the course of the tournament with their jump serve.
Haven't been able to use it here, and the block the roof by Whitmarsh.
That is just so debilitating. Whitmarsh says, hey, it's closer than 2 feet. It's not coming over. Look at the penetration over the net by Whitmarsh on that one.
Total suffocation. Then again, Mike Whitmarsh, 6'7".
Give me a breath. Jeez.
I want to remind you,
7-0, they lead it. You know, they haven't had any patsies either. They came in here unseeded because they did not play in Clearwater Beach in the first FIVB event. They beat the top-ranked team of Roberto and Franco 15-10. They also beat Zamarco and Emmanuel, and they also beat Carl Hankin and St. John Smith rather handily as well, 15-7. So they've had a great tournament.
Well, there is a certain shock value as they confront these international teams. Smith and Henkel, they know Mike and Mike very well, but these international teams, they come up against this Whitmarsh-Dodd combination, and they've never seen anything quite like it on the FIVB tour, and it scares a few points out of them, I'm sure.
And as you saw graphically, Mike and Mike have won 4 of the 14 AVP events this year.
And they're used to the very high level of competition, playing Karch-Karai in so many finals along with Akatabi or with Steffi's. They're familiar with the pressure of center court action.
Finally, Scott Friederichsen breaks through, banging one off of the arm of Mike Dodd. Side out. Friedrichsen's 8th kill of the match.
You'd think that these international teams would be taken aback, saying, who are these Americans to step into our tour? But that's not the attitude that they've taken at all. They are very respectful of these very conscientious athletes, Whitmarsh and Dodd and Akatabi and Karai. They're just pleased to be out there swinging away against them.
And they are learning much in the process, too, watching.
Side out.
You always wonder how you're going to measure up against the people that you've seen on TV and the people that are household names and the AVP figures. Well, now these international players get a taste of just what it's going to take to compete. There is vintage Eric Wurts, the rocket squirrel, just tagging the ball to the deep. That is a heavy thunk, and even the quick hands of Mike Dodd couldn't bring it back.
And because of that shot, they get the side out. Still looking for their first point here in game number 2 of this championship match. Hey, how about that? There it is.
It's a free lunch there. No blockers out. Friedrichsen says this is an occasion to take advantage of, and drills it, and now a big smile.
And finally, they break the ice, John.
There's the dig. The set. He says that deep middle looks open. Kaboom.
See if they can get 2 in a row here. Scotty going back to the jump serve.
Very nice deep middle jump serve by Friedrichsen. Here comes another point opportunity.
Rocket squirrel to Scotty. Whitmarsh keeps it alive and then puts it away to get the side out.
They had a free swing. Whitmarsh and Dodd gave him another free swing at a point. So
7-1.
Give it a rip, but they dug it.
Not an empty seat here in the Volleyball at Hermosa Beach. Yesterday on one of the outside courts, almost this packed for the Whitmarsh, Dodd, Henkel, St. John Smith match.
Well, this is a die-hard beach community, and they've seen St. John Smith just electrify crowds when he was a state-of-the-art performer for oh so many years. Randy Stoklos with Brooke Vanderway also drawing huge crowds, people coming out to see these legends of beach volleyball.
Wurts serving at 1-7. Look out.
Such a high attack right back to the corner. There's no blocking that ball. There's nobody going to be up there with
7 to serve 1.
Maybe an Akatabi or Karai will get up there to that altitude, but if he has that maximum extension, nobody's blocking that ball.
Whitmarsh serving 7-1.
Out. Off the tape and out of bounds as Friedrichsen tries to go low and under that. Now that ball was not blocked, but the influence of Whitmarsh at the net is just such a crippling one. Friedrichsen tried to cut it extremely sharp and hit the tape and out of bounds. The crowd is quiet in response to these points, in that the points have been coming very smoothly. Yeah, where's that samba beat of the Brazilian crowd? It'd be a nice feature.
Side out, back.
Side out, Wurts and Friederichsen. Well, the AVP may have the better player. Well, the AVP may have the better players, but they can't beat the Brazilian fans, that's for sure.
That's a super sideshow. Makes it fun to be a fan, and it really inspires the Brazilian players. We've seen it happen over and over during this tournament.
Well, maybe Scott and Eric can get everybody fired up here. They're down 1-8 here in game 2, trying to stave off elimination in the championship match. Dodd going big and deep. Side out.
And without the wind, it really eliminates the quick points that jump serves can accomplish, but just so high and strong. As Mike Dodd says, he had a bunch of places he could have put that ball away.
And I just think that Scott and Eric have hit the wall. I mean, 16 matches in 5 days is just killer.
It takes a lot of courage to be out there and putting it away. Look at, oh, but it's out of bounds. What a great dig by Mike Dodd once again.
Those tiny little errors on another day, an earlier match that might have dropped in there for him, but not today.
Our final winner of the day in the Volkswagen Volleyball giveaway.
There's the set down the line, and Mike Dodd just churning through the sand. Great left-handed scoop. It goes over the net, and Friederichsen hits it out of bounds.
Well, Mike Dodd and Mike Whitmarsh wanted to make a point for the AVP. They have done that and then some. We'll be back with more of our men's championship after this. Prize money also involved in these FIVB events. The winner of this match will take home $20,000. The runner-up, a nice 15.
Well, this is a pretty good day's work, or a week's work. I hope Friederichsen and Wurts are going to calculate it out hourly. They're making pretty good money to assuage their spent bodies.
I'll tell you what, they deserve every penny after playing 16 matches.
Next year on the FIVB Tour, 5 mil, 22 tourneys. So there's a great economic alternative like we talked about with coach. Whitmarsh blocking that ball, but it falls out of bounds. Opposing this Whitmarsh block, it's so difficult, especially if your legs aren't fresh. If you're tired at all and you know that you've just got that obstacle to confront every single time, you're going to be at a disadvantage. You lose the confidence that it takes to get by the block.
Whitmarsh 6'7", Eric Wurts 6 feet, and a tired 6 feet because he's got a pretty decent vertical leap, but not today.
About 4,000 jumps ago, you might have had a little bit more pizzazz against Whitmarsh's block.
Knocks that one out of bounds. His 4th service error, the team's 5th, and that's a perfect indication of fatigue.
That's right. You've got to concentrate so much on your side-out game, just getting the ball down. It's tough to maintain it when you get back to the service line.
Well, you got a side out there. Let's see if they can get another point.
Friederichsen
Scored only 3 in game number 1 in a 12-3 loss.
And Whitmarsh contacting the ball with some great snap. Look at Dodd just put that ball up there so low and under control. The low set is easier to hit because you can see the defense behind it. You can see the movement of the player in the backcourt, and Whitmarsh just makes the right selection over and over.
I think we forget that sometimes too, John. You know, we ooh and ah over the big kills, but it's the guy who sets the man up that really is the difference. Big block for Whitmarsh. Numero fump.
We heard the words called angle. The angle was open, but not at that altitude. You got to get it nice and high over that Whitmarsh block. That was a firm closure of the angle.
Again, great communication on the part of Whitmarsh and Dodd. Putting on a clinic here, John.
What a beautiful dig by Mike Dodd. We've seen him do thousands of those over the course of beach volleyball history. Just pops that thing up. You're not out of control. The ball is dug, stable, right in front of his partner to set that ball.
Guess what? Championship points.
Dodd with match point in his hand. Time taken on the court.
Dodd, along with another superb athlete, Tim Hovland, electrified crowds throughout the year, won lots of tournaments right down the beach at Manhattan, and on all Southern California beaches. And now with Mike Whitmarsh, again an institution.
Not just great offense today, John, but great defense. Here's what led them to championship point.
There's the set. Friederichsen drills the ball, but look at that scrambling play, and Whitmarsh with a little left-handed cut over the net. Freddie's going to rip one cross court again, but off the tape, enough for Dodd to make that beautiful dig and the appropriate put away.
Again, championship point. Dodd to serve it. The joust at the net. Hey, that one goes to Eric Wurts.
Wurts says all those years in the weight room were not for nothing. He goes up, way up, as Eric Wurts. He knows who he's confronting up there at the high altitude, wins the push.
So much for my tired leg theory.
Well, spent so much on that last joust that he could not get his serve in short. But that's kind of a manhood right on those jousts. When you're 6 foot, you're going up against a big customer at the net. It's great to win even that little battle.
They may not win this championship, but they have earned a lot of fans. Friederichsen and Wurts. Tough, tough, tough. 16 matches. And their record will be 14-2. They lost the Alpha and they'll lose the Omega.
Come on, move it.
Freddie's on it.
Nobody, stop. Go, Mike, go, go. Nobody. Gotta go.
Good stuff here. Whitmarsh.
Come on, kill. Nobody.
Freddie put it away.
Oh, give me a couple of cracks at it. I'll deliver it.
I love it. I love it.
The crowd appreciative. Keep swinging, Freddie. There's the pass and the dig. Now the swing, but that cut shot gobbled up over the net. Friederichsen with nice up.
Scotty serving at 2-11. Whitmarsh. Ooh, great dig there by Scott.
Oh, and a little miscue on defense. The normally very cohesive defense of Whitmarsh and Dodd breaks down a little bit there.
And 2 points in a row. They trail 3-11.
And a nice dig on a hot shot as Friederichsen popped that ball up. He is great on that hard hit ball. Again with a nice hands. Let's got Friederichsen not going down and digging the ball, bumping it up, but getting his hands on the ball. That's one of the differences between indoor and outdoor. You can't caress that ball. If it's driven, double hit it, grab it, and toss it up in the air. It's good.
That one handcuffed him a bit. Side out, and now championship point once again for Whitmarsh and Dodd.
Fine.
There was Mike Whitmarsh on the line.
And there it is.
Inside the line. Yeah, that's a wrap.
Well, they began the tournament in impressive fashion, and they finished that way. Their first FIVB event and their first championship. Championship point once again, John Lee.
We heard Eric Wurts calling that the line was open. Let's see what got in the way of hitting that ball down the line. Big swing, but look at Mike Whitmarsh just closing out that line, turning his hands in and stuffing that ball right down to the sand.
A complete package. Great defense, great offense, and they win handily. 12-3, 12-3. We'll be back to talk with the winners as our coverage of the Bud Light World Beach Invitational continues.